Well, hello, everybody. This is Sarah, your medium on the go, reporting live from Jamestown, New York. This is part of my time that I've been spending in the spiritualist community of Lilydale. And I know it's been a while since I've been on. So hopefully the sounds of Starbucks won't be interfering. I'm hoping these things help. But at any rate, today's production is brought to you by the devil. And the devil is about codependence, addiction, all this sort of thing. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the media's addiction, the corporate media's addiction to Donald Trump. And part of this being is that the CEOs of all the major cable stations and some newspapers are Trump donors. And so, although maybe MSNBC isn't quite as bad as the others, there's still that cloud of who writes their paychecks, and a lot of things are not been getting reported. So part of this today is based on a lot of what I've heard on Midas Touch. And they really go into it about how there's certain things that the media has not been reporting. And some of that is things like Trump is going crazy, selling assassination attempt sneakers, and all kinds of wacko things. So I also know there's been a lot of blowback. I am among the millions that have canceled my subscription to the New York Times. And fortunately, since I've been spending a lot of time where I don't have access to cable news, I've been pretty much getting my news on YouTube. And I feel I've been getting more accurate news on YouTube. So I want to take a look and see. And they've been feeling the blowback. I know there was a big to do about Morning Joe getting taken off the air Monday. So I want to take a quick 3-card look and see the past, the present, and the future of what path the media is going to take. And this is all pretty much clarifying the devil card. Okay, so boy, oh boy. We've got the moon in reverse in the past. We've got the infighting. And we have got, wow, all these cups in reverse. It's not looking real good. So the moon in reverse is really talking about some very disturbed people. And it delves with kind of like the dark side of the subconscious and all this sort of thing. So what this one is saying is that there's kind of a lot going on that we don't know about behind the scenes. So this is something that surprises me since I didn't expect this to come up. And this is very interesting. Now, this card has come up for me a lot in the Republican Party in the past couple of years, at whatever live I'm doing. What this is about is infighting. Now, we know there's infighting in the Republican Party, but this one is telling me there is a lot of infighting going on with editors, people running these channels, the Washington Post, the New York Times. So I'm going to say there's a lot. I believe there's a lot of headbutting going on with the CEOs of these. Because I will say there are reporters and commentators, many of whom have gotten everything wrong in many of the elections, but still, these people that are really fighting for integrity as far as running this newspaper. So, in the future, we have the Page of Wands in reverse, and this is about very immature kinds of temper tantrums going on. And I would say, following the Five of Wands in reverse, this is really talking about how this is not going to be stopping anytime soon. So I feel as though I want to pull a clarifier or two for this to see, because I don't get an outcome. So let's see. We have the energy cross with this is it's the Two of Swords in reverse. And my simple reading for the Two of Wands in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, which is upright, it's the that Libra energy, can't make up their mind, that sort of thing. When it's reversed, I would say that it is the struggle of that, but it's that after all of this, the blindfold has fallen off. The swords of thought have come down, and the arms go off of the heart chakra, and the decision is made. But maybe more on the intuitive level than the thinking level, because obviously that hasn't been working. So we've got the Two of Swords in reverse, trying to resolve the really, really bad stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So then we have, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which is to me is saying that the really bad decisions and bad planning that they thought they really had in place has meant a big loss of revenue. And things just have not gone according to plan. I'm thinking of the New York Times with the editorial about Biden stepping down. Now this is what they made them write, the editorial on Trump standing down. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which means that there's been some really bad karma coming to them. So it's kind of like this Page of Wands really needs to snap out of it, basically. And then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And that's all about, they're trying to get some help themselves, but they're not exactly doing it in the right way. And so this tells me it's kind of an outcome that they probably are going to be continuing to lose readership or viewership and readership, because they need to start to get it. They're still making the same mistakes. So we have that going. So the media is going to be in quite turmoil for a while. And I think people are turning to YouTube, basically to YouTube, to kind of get that thing out of the way. Something. I hate those when those pop up things. Okay. All right. So I don't know. Okay. So at any rate, they're going to, if they don't really kind of change and start to report what Midas Touch, Occupy Democrats, and some of these other sites, including myself and my colleagues, they are going to continue to lose viewers. Now, having listened to the latest Midas Touch, we I have found out that surprise, surprise, that the orange one has really started to go cuckoo. And I'm talking about making some outrageous posts and, all this. We all know about the golf game on Sunday. We all know that he hasn't called the widow of that man that was killed at the rally. And now the latest is that he has, if you can believe, yeah, you can believe anything. He has now issued assassination attempt sneakers, which are almost as ugly as those gold ones. Not quite, but almost. They're kind of like white clown shoes with a little American flag and blah, 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 assassination attempt, all this kind of crap. So, once again, I'm going to go with my colleagues and see what the mental state is of this guy, because it is deteriorating. I think it's deteriorating. So I want to see what is going to happen, since this whole thing that I'm not going to go into whether it was staged or this or that. I've been hearing a lot of different theories, and I'm going to say a little bit of all of the above. I would say that one that really resonated with me I was watching Ellie Dreams Down Under, saying that it's very possible that many Republicans really want him gone, and that this kid that you gun on the roof was possibly manipulated. But what they may be screaming about at the convention is something that they're saying different than what they're saying in private. I would say, had God forbid the worst had happened on Saturday, and he had been killed, which would be we don't. It's banana republic stuff. We don't really want that. It's never the answer. They would have all been crying crocodile tears, and then been some back room probably popping the champagne. So at any rate, maybe their mental state is just as bad as this. But I want to take a look at a little bit of a timeline from past to present and see how this is going to progress or not progress, or what's going on with him. Oh, all these reverse cards again. So let's see. So I want to see what crowns this reading. Okay. Again with the let's see what the energy of this whole thing is as we get to the conclusion. So okay. So I would say, as far as he goes, that the chariot in reverse is saying that whatever is kind of, like being negotiated with a party is gone, moving forward is gone really, really wrong, because there's many who do not like his vice president pick. It feeds into the whole Project 25 and all that. So then we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. I'm going to say that's about his very quick recovery of healing from whatever wounds that he got at in the attempt or the setup, whatever it turned out to be. Then we, uh, then this is kind of in the not too distant future. So this is Three of Swords in reverse. It's kind of like the heartbreak that they were hoping that this was going to somehow make people feel sorry for him, but what this is doing is the heartbreak continues, and I've seen this the same in reverse and upright because I really get a sense that as I listen to my guides that even though it's in reverse and gravity's supposed to pull it out, they're kind of stuck there. They're stuck there and they're stuck in the storm. And it's kind of like they're kind of wondering how, it's the hurt and the swords are about thoughts. They're wondering, how are we going to get out of this? They've really got themselves in deep. Okay, so this is very interesting because I have I kind of go along with the Page of Swords is kind of like the spy in the camp element. I'm going to say that I think first of all in regards to first this has two meanings. First in regards of Trump and his mental state that he's going to be thinking less clearly and really go into very immature mode. I also feel as though I'm sort of being told that a lot of people, somebody in his team is going to start to leak. There's going to be leaks to the media. And I get a sense it's probably going to be someone younger. And this is going to be something else that's going to drive him nuts. Now, we're looking at the future. We have the Five of Cups. And there's one tarot reader who I really love the description that she gives this. That the Five of Cups is the minor arcana version of the Death card. And this is like all the regrets, anything positive in his life, he can't see. These cups represent all the things that he feels he's got, that he blames for why things are not going exactly as planned. And he can't, in this figure, he's like this figure, he just can't move on. He's going to be stuck in these. And I'm going to say that there is, with the head hung down, I'm going to say there is some kind of a fear and paranoia about what had happened. So I feel as though he's dwelling so much on what happened, what could have happened, why did it happen, and he may be very paranoid to move on to the next rally. That's going to be very interesting to see. So, crowning the reading again, the Two of Swords in reverse, and this time I see it as they made their bed, they made up their mind, and there's really no getting out of it. And as far as this deals with his mental state, what this is talking about is that that there's really no control. I'm sure this goes back to they didn't want his vice presidential pick, and now they're really stuck with it. They're very, very stuck with it. And in this reversed, the blindfold, in a way, is still on with many. With some, it's fallen off. But there isn't a thing they can do about it. There just isn't a thing they can do about it. So I think what's happening here in the world, upright, is that many of them are looking, they're kind of like looking to, to the future. I think some of them may have moved on, but they're kind of stuck with him. I think that what this is saying is that they have done everything they can do. So everything is, there's no unfinished business. They're really stuck with what they have brought to the dance, so to speak. And they are stuck that way because I'm not alone in feeling there's been a lot of blackmail probably uh, going going on with this. And I would say that kind of fits in with the theory, and it was one of their own that did this. And I'm not going to accuse any of these delegates and congressional people of doing this, but as I say, they really would not be crying more than public crocodile tears. And I will say another thing is that the theme of so many murder mysteries and film noirs and TV shows have been the main motive for someone's being either murdered or the attempt to be murdered is blackmail. That's because these stories are based on real life, and it's realistic to think that law enforcement says, okay, who is blackmailed? It looks as though, to me, that investigation with the FBI and so on may really be headed in that direction. So, um, I think since the theme is the devil and the media, and really what they're not covering and everything, it's sort of like the sneakers and his acting very crazy is really it's this is really the big thing. But I'm going to say I want to take a temperature of the American public because I think that all of these outside forces and trying to keep Project 2025 from us is pretty much shown to be a failure. They have been assuming that the American public is a lot more stupid than, and I think they've been getting a little bit of a surprise. So I also get a sense that a lot of since Saturday, this, if it was a setup, it hasn't worked like it was supposed to work. And if it wasn't a setup and people were really looking to make some political advantage of this, that hasn't worked either. So either way, so I just want to take a quick temperature of was the average American public and not the crazy red hat set is thinking. So let's do a few cards on that. Justice. Okay. Oh, interesting. Lovers in reverse. Again, I shuffled these up. Shuffled these up very well. I might do a couple clarifiers on that. Okay, so I think justice is about, I think it's the legal aspect of all of these trials. And even though they haven't come to trial, is that a lot of American people are waking up to the fact that even if he doesn't get tried, where there's smoke, there's fire, and all of the alleys. I think people are kind of sick of this. So I think in the karmic way, people are kind of waking up. I would say the lovers in reverse, that's about a number of people that may have voted for him once or twice are becoming disenchanted. They're pretty much falling out of love with him. They haven't quite broken away yet, but and this is also about the predatory nature that not only has he had with how he deals with the women in his life, but maybe with his base. So there may be some MAGAs pulling away as well. But I would say a lot of your garden variety Republicans. So then we have as a future possible outcome card. Okay, this is the disappointment that many have in him as they have more and more truth pushed in their face that they can't avoid. So, do you want to get a clarifier or two on this one? Because this is a big one. I'm going to say that it probably began with some of the legal stuff. Then we have the whole Project 2025. And just the fact that maybe he isn't as much of a big shot as they thought he would. There's so many things. So I'm going to put the three cards to see which this represents. In the past, we have the happy marriage and the teaming up. In the present, we have the hanged man, with some of them still hanging tough to him. But at the same time, the hanged man is pausing to reflect. So what this is saying is that there are a lot of people having second thoughts. And then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Now that could be, we have it over. Okay. Okay, so the Ace of Swords in reverse is the realization that everything that comes out of his mouth is a big fat lie. So in the end, all of this stuff and the victimization and the whole thing with that silly whatever that is on his ear has really not worked to garner any the sympathy that he and his insiders wish to have. So I would say I don't like to call election outcomes, but let me put it this way. He's losing support. What these cards say that he's not gaining any support, he's losing support. So at any rate, I think it's time to conclude this. I hope I don't know how to edit things out, but I'm just hoping that this Starbucks sounds haven't been too distracting. So I hope to be back pretty soon. So everybody stay cool and whatever you do, just with very, very few exceptions, just turn off MSNBC, CNN, the rest of them, and it'll just make you crazy. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and everyone have a good evening. Bye bye.